This is Sherm Radio in partnership with Timber Media, podcasters for India Inc.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sherm Radio, the place to catch up with leaders and have insightful conversations on all things work. And I'm Archana Jarat. Forbes describes him as one of the most interesting globalists. LinkedIn has voted him as a must-know writer. He has more than 850,000 followers on LinkedIn and Twitter. Wow. Sherm has rated him as the number one influencer on social media in 2018. He was the Chief Learning Officer of Wipro and was voted as among the top 10 learning professionals in the world, number one ranking in India. And now he's the founder of Abhijit, Bhaduri and Associates. Meet Abhijit Bhaduri, a truly talented and respected leader. Abhijit is going to share some secrets on the art of social influencing. Welcome to Sherm Radio, Abhijit.
Hey, thank you, Archana. I just wanted to start off with a caveat and say that I have no secrets, that I can share. I have no structured strategy or something that I can do, but happy to, answer any questions you have. So just as a caveat off the bat.
You're doing something right, Abhijit, and that's what we want to know, and that's what our listeners want to know about. So, while you've already answered that question, but I will still ask you, what is the secret of success on social media as per you?
I don't know if there is a secret, because I think I believe every platform has its own grammar, and what works for one doesn't work for the other. I mean, very simple data point being, anyone can compare their own, following on, say, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Insta, and all any social media platform that you are a part of, and you actually discover that it really, the numbers are different, and the level of engagement in each of these platforms is also different. So I think being able to decode it and tease it for yourself comes from a fair bit of experimentation. So you try out something and see if it works. Do people like it? And people are fairly candid on social media, so they'll tell you this works and this doesn't. So I think taking that feedback when we put anything out on a public platform, we need to be looking beyond just appreciative responses. So I think one of the reasons is that we all get very tempted to stick to people who are appreciating and applauding whatever we do. So people will say that, oh, that's terrific, and it's tempting to do that. But I think real value and your shifts come from people who tell you what didn't work, and then it forces you to experiment. So I would look at it like that.
Okay, and any for people who are not so savvy on social media, and of course you mentioned about choosing platforms that you're more comfortable with. But what are maybe 2 or 3 things that you would recommend to get moving in this space?
So one of the only things that I would say is that, this is one of the ways in which communication has changed today. So it is far more about putting your content out there and putting your ideas out there and, interacting. It's a one-to-many kind of a format. So there was a time when everything was, one-on-one, or at best we spoke among friends. When you're speaking in real life, when you have somebody across the room, you actually are talking to much lesser number of people. You just think about the number of friends you have on Facebook or any social media platform, and ask yourself that if you were celebrating a life event or a birthday or a dinner, would everybody get called in? The answer is no. And that's the whole nature of social media, is that, as you go further and further away, so, you and I may be friends, but then, you also have another person with whom I am not that close. And yet that person is also part of the network. So in social media, you actually have very weak ties, which are also part of the, social media format. And that is the strength of the platform, which is that, you can actually get to engage with people who are in no way connected to you in real life. So your ideas, a great set of very different ideas come from the people who you are connected with. So choosing your followership, in places where you can approve. In some platforms you can approve it, and many you don't need to. Anyone can follow you. So then I think the ability to have that conversation is important. Two, I think you don't learn anything by simply reading what others have to say. It's really like if you can listen to somebody speak a language for years together, but until you try it out, you don't learn that language. So you have to make your own set of mistakes. And three is to say that when you think about social media and say that where I don't really believe in this, is really like saying that are there people who don't use a phone? Possibly yes, but then in today's day and age they would get eliminated from the conversations, and you don't know what is happening. On every year on Guru Purnima, I always think that I have learned the most through Twitter. It's an open source platform, and I've just learned so much. And now, of course, on LinkedIn, thanks to the larger number of people who are reading, it just gives me a chance to learn from a really, complete set of strangers who otherwise I would have never had access to. So that is the incredible opportunity social offers.
That's so interesting, Abhijit. I think it's about, looking at the takeaways that you want and how you want to leverage different media is what I'm understanding from you. We'll come back to this conversation. I'm in conversation with Abhijit Bhaduri, founder, Abhijit Bhaduri and Associates. This is Sharm Radio, and we'll be right back.
You are listening to Sharm Radio in partnership with Timber Media, podcasters for India Inc.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Sharm Radio. I'm with Abhijit Bhaduri, and we're talking about the art of social influencing from the master himself. So Abhijit, you did talk about authenticity and why that social can't be ignored today. Why is influencing through social such an important skill in today's world, especially for organizations and leaders?
When I work with my clients, one of the first things that I talk about is, how the reputation of the organization and the employee and the leaders is actually interlinked. So when the organization does something well, and the leaders talk about it, this is what we are doing. Here is where we are expanding our business. This is the award we have won. All of that actually shapes the perception of the employer brand. So employer brand is shaped by what the leaders have to say. If they are not saying it on social media, then there is no way that you can sort of look at it, where social is a two-way conversation. Unlike any other platform, any other platform is one way. What I say on the radio or in the press or anything is one way. People can ask a question, I can respond to it later, but it's not in real time. Whereas social is in real time. Second thing to think about is, the employees actually shape the talent brand of the organization. The kind of things that they say on social media, the employees, that shapes the talent brand. And these two together determine the reputation of the organization. It also determines the kind of talent that you attract, the quality of the talent. I mean, why is it that the best of talent will not work for certain kinds of organizations? That's the answer. That's the talent brand, which makes people suspicious of would I really enjoy working there? Do I want to tell people that I work for so-and-so organization? So a lot of times when an organization comes into question in the media and popular perception, employees are the first ones who have to come up and defend it and say that, no, that's not true. This is how we look at it. I'm an employee. I am telling you that this is how it is. So the ability today to train the people on how to leverage social media is really, becomes so important. And it's really not a choice anymore for organizations, because it's really like saying that we don't like to use the telephone. It's as simple as that, because everybody is using it. If you're not using it, you're not connected to the world.
So that's a very interesting point. Do you believe that there should be actual formal social media training for employees in organizations now?
Yes, I have been working with several leaders, and some of the organizations that I work with, what they do is they actually get a bunch of their employees who are most active on social media and actually refine the way that they go about conveying the brand on social through various things that they post. So one of the first things that I do is to work with them to understand what is the brand that they wish to be known for. and why do they think that that's important, and how would they convey it? And so that's the whole conversation that we have.
That's super interesting, Abhijit, and very fascinating. It's a lot of hard work. There are no hacks to being popular on social media and becoming a true influencer. And thanks so much for those insights. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Archana. It's always a privilege to do anything for Sherm. So thanks for having me here.
Thanks to you, and thanks to all our listeners on Sherm Radio, which is in partnership with Timber Media Podcasters. Stay tuned as we'll come back next Wednesday at 10 a.m. with another great conversation on all things work.
This is Sherm Radio in partnership with Timber Media, Podcasters for India Inc.